What's up? alexy1 are playing Zafukan? Zafukan. I don't know who this guy is. A GM from Slovakia, I guess this flag is? Slovenia. Sorry. Um, yeah, and I want to switch up my games, but this game I still played this knight f3. I don't know. I keep forgetting that I want to switch, but whatever. So this line is pretty known. There are two moves here, which are normal, bishop c5 and knight takes e4. After knight takes e4, we can go very boring with rook e1, but this move isn't as good. Now I'm just a tiny bit better. H3. I want to go bishop e3 and then f4 in the future. One of his ideas should be to go knight e5. But yeah, my weakness here is this pawn. And he can try to move his knight and then play c5 or something. I don't know. Okay, so he's attacking e4. Like I said, that's my weakness. Maybe bishop d3. I was deciding between queen f3 and bishop d3. So I can go a3. If I go queen f3, c5 is a move as well. No, it's okay. c4 doesn't do anything yet. I wanted to go knight g3 here. But yeah, d5 probably, and yeah, d5 should equalize at least. Maybe even be a bit better. I don't know. E5? But then d4, yeah? Yeah, then d4. If I take knight takes, it's also very annoying. But I think I have to do it anyways. So I have to take as, obviously. If he takes with the knight. If he takes on d3 as well. No, if he takes on d3, I can take on c6. So, okay. Well, like I said, he's at least equalized now. But it should be somewhat fine. I think we're not really much worse, at least. We should be some like 0.4 or something worse. I guess the evaluation would be, since he's got the bishop pair and somehow the more active position. But my bishop here on d3 is pretty good actually, so I've got that going for me. This pawn is weak as well, I agree. So I'll take and play knight e2. And I'm deciding between b3 or a3 for my next move. Or even c3 now, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go c3. If he takes, we can go rook c1. We can also just take back with the knight. I'm not sure yet. So rook c1. What happens? Bishop d5, rook takes c3, bishop b4, rook c7. That's okay for me. Take here, I can take on c5 because my bishop defends b1. Yeah, I somehow like this. It's worth mentioning, if takes on b2 takes on c5, bishop e4 doesn't work because of bishop takes e4, rook takes e4, and rook c8. And this pawn on b4 was pretty annoying to me because it held back my other pawns. And although he still has the bishop pair, well, trading that pawn should be okay for me. I mean, he should still be better, of course, but maybe f5 even. I want to trade these bishops, but how? Rook b3 is not really a nice move here. But where can I trade those bishops? I don't know yet. This seems like a nice move. Like, I want to go rook e2 or something. Well, let's... Now bishop e4 was my idea. Well, I have to go rook e2. I figured rook d4 probably. Oh. So if I go king e1, bishop a5 is pretty annoying. Okay. Yeah, this is a bad move. Now rook d4 wins a pawn. No, I still have knight e2. Oh no, rook d1. Yeah, okay. That was pretty bad. But still, maybe we can hold this. I don't think so, but you never know. I can take now. He can't really take with the pawn. Ah, okay. Wow. Works just about. G3 works, as well as rook f4, which worked as well. So this is a pin, obviously. Check. It just all barely works. Yeah, and h3 next move, I guess. Yeah, this should win for him. Well, if we trade one pawn, which we're never gonna do, but yeah. So this was a pretty boring game in which I just made a mistake at the end there. Yeah, I tried to switch it up lately. I go knight c3 as well against e5. But yeah, I thought I'd try this one more time. Bishop c4 here. We can take this pawn back anytime we want. I think bishop c5 here is the best, actually. I don't know. So if we castle here, you can go d6, which is somehow the point, because now this bishop is out of his, well, out of the chain, and I have to go c3. But this line is, I don't know. I don't really like this. Knight f6 is the more, well, how'd you call it? I guess somehow safe option. And then he went d6. So normally knight takes e4 is the move. Rook e1. And this line is very well known. This is a draw. This is a well-known drawn line. Castle, I guess. Knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes, d5, rook c1, and then mostly it's a draw. I wasn't gonna do that, I guess. I don't know. And this is the other line, which you can go, which you can play here, and then e5. This is called the Max Lang attack. This is pretty fun. And here rook e1 is the main move, but I go bishop g5 in this position. And there's one difference. After rook e1, bishop e6, bishop g5, then you can go queen d5, which is known. Now, I think so at least. I'm not 100% sure, but this move really fails. No, probably not after rook e1 though. I don't know where, but there's a line where you can go queen d5. But here knight e4 is very annoying. So if you take on g7, which is somehow the main move, then you have knight h4, which is just, where's this queen going? If queen g4, knight f6 check. If queen d5, knight f6. This is just very good. So he has to go bishop e7, but then just take, and knight takes d4, and this is also very good. As you can see here, the evaluation is +3. So queen d5 is just a bad move, but it happens sometimes when people mix up variations. And this is somehow, if he goes d6 here, it's somewhat of the same, I guess, as this. This all feels pretty normal. But c5 here, yeah, it's a pretty good move, I guess. And now d5. Yeah, so something went wrong here. Queen d3 was, or bishop d3 was probably a bad move. The engine likes knight f3. So yeah, if you take, you have either bishop takes f7 or queen d5. I'm not sure which is better. I guess this one. So if king takes knight g5, and we win back the exchange. And also we're working with e5 here, so bishop e6 probably, and then bishop d3. I don't know, bishop d3 feels okay. This move feels somehow to c5 and then d5 with bishop c6. I was also thinking about a3 and then pawn takes, but yeah, as long as these pawns are fixed on e4 and d3, this isn't as good as when this pawn can move to d4 and then e5. But it's hard to push this pawn to d4 without losing e4. So this is probably a mistake. And now, well, yeah, I thought knight takes was definitely the better move. I was gonna go bishop d2, but it feels like there should be something, maybe even c4. I don't know. The engine says knight b6 winning. So if queen f2, then probably c4. Yeah. And when this bishop moves, yeah, it's just totally dominating. Rook d1. Oh yeah, bishop c5 is also a threat. Yeah, this is... bleh. Bishop c5 is a very annoying threat. I don't even see how I can defend against it. Because if I move my king, bishop c5 just traps my queen. Yeah, it feels very good. But this, yeah, I thought I'd be somehow okay. I did underestimate it. I thought I was minus 0.4 or something, where it's, well, around 1. So yeah, I don't know. The bishop pair is pretty good. And also he's got some threats against my king with this bishop here. And against c2, I don't know. Now we're doing somehow okay. After knight f5 here. So if he takes knight e7, and although we've lost a pawn, bishops are opposite colored, and it should be an easier draw, I guess. If we go b3 here, just keep our pawns on the white squares, A3 maybe even next. A3 maybe even. Must be somehow better. If A5 takes and then B3. Yeah, this should be an easy draw. Relatively easy. And this is too passive. Now C3. Rook C1. So it wasn't possible. Rook D8 here. And now check, I guess, or Rook D2. Bishop B4, and then just G6. Yeah, I don't like this. So it felt yucky, but I didn't see a refutation, so I thought, well, might be okay. So all in all, this is a pretty bad game. Actually, I've made some mistakes where I shouldn't have. And yeah, I thought this was somehow holdable, but it's not really. And now, I guess there are no more tricks. Here somewhere I thought I was fine. Well, I thought I had him. But he still has this bishop f2. And he can go either rook f4 or g3 here. Yeah. And it's just nothing. It's just nothing. So, all in all, this was a pretty bad game. I do hope you learned something from my opponent. He was pretty clinical. And this ending, he played it pretty well, actually. And the opening was also somehow interesting. It's hard to get a plus after the opening when your opponent plays this passively. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed somehow. I have a hard time saying that when I lose a game. I find myself saying this sometimes, and yeah, I don't really like losing. Anyways, see you next time. Bye bye.